So, let's review this RC125 by KTM. Now, we have sold quite a few of these bikes. This is a customer's bike in for a service and a few bits and bobs. What can I say about the 125? I think it's a pretty cool bike, to be fair. Like, look at it. It looks absolutely awesome, doesn't it? For a 125, like, you cannot say that doesn't look like a bigger bike. I particularly like the colours of this one, actually. This is probably one of my favourite colours of these KTM RCs. That black and orange just set it right off. The wheels as well. So keep it tuned and let's go over this bike, see how I rate it. Now, you can just see from this video the quality of this bike. Look at the forks. Them forks are pretty cool. And the disc, you know, the wheels, the way they're webbed, it just screams quality, this bike. I am quite a KTM fan, to be honest. We used KTM quite a lot on off-road, and yeah, they're pretty impressive. I like the whole principle of KTM. I think they're a well-designed bike of the times. Look at that display, that's pretty cool. It's very bright, so you can see it when you're riding along. On other models of digital displays, I think sometimes they can be a little bit light and not like lit up enough. So in sunlight, they actually look very dull. But with the KTM, this is not the case. We've got new lighting in this workshop, so the lighting has all been upgraded, but as you can see, the lighting is very light and that screen still looks very visible, which is a good sign. Anyway, let's move on with the rest of this video and see where we go. Now, this is that shock setup I was on about. So as you can see in there, it's mounted to the frame and then comes down. It's hard to see it because that's in the way, but probably see it better in there. Yeah, it's mounted to the swing arm. There's no linkage sat under here to worry about, which is a pretty fail-safe setup, to be fair. Again, decent shock, WP shock, and webbed swing arms, they're pretty cool, like I said earlier. Just look at that frame. That is pretty cool. Liquid cooled 4-stroke engine. I think it's a 4-valve. Pretty sure it's a 4-valve. Obviously, your oil filter. Now, that's your oil inspection window. You want to keep an eye on that at least weekly. Top of the WP forks. Look at that. That looks pretty nice, to be fair. Even the handlebars and the top yoke. It's almost like a piece of art. What else can I say about it? Plastics are pretty well made, to be fair. They feel robust. The seats don't wear much, I've noticed, which is pretty good. Switch gear, that's all pretty much standard. This one's got some aftermarket levers. I'm not massively keen on these levers. A lot of them are just cheap Chinese rubbish. You're better off with the stock if you're not going to get some decent levers. For a decent set, you're going to be paying 100, 150 quid at least. Anyway, to move on from there, all the controls, apart from the levers, feel good. Pretty robust. You don't get much problems with these. It's the size of the engine. It's a pretty big motor for 125, but again, it's pretty much the same as a 390, but obviously the 390's got a bigger cylinder, different cams, etc, etc. This one is in for a chain and sprockets, service, headstock bearings, and a few other bits and pieces. As you can see, it's pretty past it. Worn out. So, if I was 17 years old, would I own a KTM RC125? Yeah, damn right I would. This thing, this would be equivalent to like the RS, which I'm going to take you over and show you in a minute. But this is definitely a nice bit of kit. And if I was 17, even now, I wouldn't mind owning it. So that goes to show how good I think this bike is. So here's that little RS125 I was telling you about. Now, if you had one of these when I was 17, you were the dom, like literally. This thing was an absolute weapon. This one's seen better days plastic wise, but mechanically it's a bloody good bike. We'll just try and turn that around, see if I can get a better picture. I'm not going to pull it out because we have done other videos on this bike, so if you're interested, have a look through our channel. So that's my review of this RC125 by KTM. This one's a 2023 model. I do prefer the later ones because they've got the digital screens. All the actual old ones had digital and along with analog type displays, if that makes sense. But the older type displays I don't quite like. These ones look like a little iPhone that's actually a clock set. Now, this is motorcycle repair. You know, we've been going since 2017, so I think we're in a pretty good stance to review bikes and give us our lowdown and our opinion of what you should buy. And if you're on the market for a 125, you will not find a better bike than this KTM RC125 if it's a sports bike you're looking for. If it's not a sports bike, maybe check out the KTM Duke 125 because they're also good bikes. Quality wise, you won't go wrong. People say KTM, keep taking money. That's what KTM stands for. That's a load of nonsense. Okay, the parts are quite expensive. Yeah, don't get me wrong, but they don't go wrong very much. Now you buy a Chinese bike and you see how much you spend on that. Okay, the parts are cheaper, which are getting more expensive now, but you are going to spend a lot of money because they go wrong, hell of a lot. Where these things, you look after them, they'll look after you. So my take is go out and buy one if you're looking for a sports bike. There are a few others that you might want to bear in mind, but for me, I think this is my ultimate 125 sports bike of the modern day. So yeah, make sure you like and subscribe. There's going to be plenty more content coming up. I might do a review on that R1 over there once we get it running again. Well, it's actually running, but it needs a rectifier, which is on order. So if you fancy that, maybe comment below or comment a bike you want to see a review on. I'm sure we'll get it in because we're such a busy shop. And yeah, see you next time.